Canna fam, wholeness and balanced vibrations. It is I, Mystic Mommy, the Ebony Hempress. You already know, point blank, period. This video is a message, channeled message. One that I thought was a lesson for myself, but I began to realize that this is a message for the collective. So if you consider yourself to be a part of the conscious community or the conscious cannabis use community, or the cannabis community as a whole, I love you and I appreciate you being here. This is something I'd love to share with you because sharing is caring. I haven't pulled a card in quite some time either, which means I should probably sage my cards before I pull them. Okay, well then I guess I will just continue on with my message, and then I'll pull my card and give you guys some more insight. So we're going through a shift right now. My therapist told me astrologically we are shifting. So if you've been feeling strange, we are in a shift right now, so don't be alarmed by that. You are exactly where you need to be. But we are shifting right now. We're shifting timelines. And it's a great time to shed what no longer serves you. Whether that's voluntary or not. So, you know, sometimes universe will just take matters into its own hands, which really is the preferred method, I think. But in this season, oh my god, my cards are stuck together. That's how long it's been since I've opened them. In this season, I wish you guys nothing but peace and love and abundance. But I know that shifting timelines is uncomfortable sometimes. I know that sometimes it feels like chaos and it's scary and you might be worried, you might be irritated, you might be frustrated, you might be intimidated. You might be experiencing some self-doubts. You might be experiencing some doubts as far as whether things are working in your favor. But as a divine extension of the all, the source, the majestic plural, you have to stand in that. You have to stand in that power, stand in that role, and embrace. You have to just embrace and not resist. And there's a difference between embracing and attaching, you know? So that's really what my message is about, is the attachment issue. I was talking to my therapist about this, and it was a reoccurring theme that I have learned in the last few months. Really, in the last, man, I don't even know. It's a big theme for this year, is the attachment. So, when you're attached to something, or when something's attached to you and you're holding on to something, it's like having baggage. It's like extra weight extra weight on your, not only your body, not only like your physical body, you know, like having unnecessary attachments can be in so many different forms that they can manifest. You know, it could be like a cyst. It could be like a disorder. It could be an illness. It could just be, you know, it could be a blocked chakra. It could be something that's more on an energetic level, you know, like I said with the blocked chakra. But it could be wearing down your light body, right? So we don't want that, because we want to be light as a feather so that we can be enlightened beings and we can flow naturally with the ebbs and flows of the universe, because we do know that everything is in motion all the time. Nothing stays the same. The only thing that is consistent is change. So, no matter how scary or dependent you feel you are with whatever the case may be for you, you know, maybe it's a person, maybe it's like a guilty pleasure of something, some sort. Maybe it's your job, it could be anything. Something that you're relying on for something, you know, maybe it's for that little dopamine fix, maybe it's for something that makes you feel like you got some peace, maybe it's something that makes you just feel safe or comfortable, but we are looking to expand and grow and thrive. So in that case, we need to be light so that we can reach those highs, right? I hope you guys are following me. And so with that being said, we can't be holding on to things, you know, like we can't be clutching our pearls, so to speak, you know, like literally we have to be very accepting of what we are being introduced to as things come and go in our lives, so that we can make those necessary changes, so that we can adapt, and so that we can continue on. Because life just continues on. It's not going to stop and pause for us over a situation that happens, over a scenario, over the weather, you know. So if you feel like there's something in your life that is like you are just relying on too much, like too hard, too strongly, maybe your consciousness has brought your awareness to that, to acknowledge that, because your higher self wants you to let that go. Maybe universe wants you to let it go so that you can receive greater, you know? And with that being said, wow, some of my cards really are stuck. With that being said, I just want you guys to be encouraged that it's okay. I just want you guys to know that it's okay to maybe have some anxiety about these changes. Maybe not be looking forward to the detachment process. But know that it's for your greatest good. Know that it's for your highest timeline yet. And that everything is a lesson. Even when you make a mistake, it's not a fail, you know? And you can't succeed without some failures. That's just the odds of the situation. So even if it looks like it's a setback, it's really a come up. It's really universe protecting you. It's really universe preparing you, positioning you for the next level, the next step in your journey to get you to where you need to be, your highest timeline. And I just wanted to share that with you guys with love, because I had to detach from a couple things recently that was really hard for me and didn't feel good. But overall, I would say is for my greatest good. And I just want you guys to be encouraged. With that being said, I am going to read a couple cards for you guys. I pulled out 3 cards. And I wonder if this is supposed to be a past, present, future card reading right now. Spread. That's usually what a 3-card spread ends up being. And I have the Judgment card here. I have the Chariot. The Chariot did show up upside down or in reverse, just so you guys know, just to be transparent. But I haven't decided if we're going to leave it in reverse or not. So I have it right side up. And I will show you guys the cards here in just a moment. But, and then I have the 2 of Pentacles, which I've gotten quite often. I've gotten quite a few times. So, I'm going to pull these oracle cards for you guys as well to help clarify our spread. The oracle cards are in the form of the Egyptian gods and goddesses. So, with that being said, we really want to take a look at the actual illustration. We want to look at the actual suit and the Egyptian god or goddess, what they represent, what their theme is with that card specifically, and how it all really ties together in a bigger picture. Because it's whatever resonates for you, the parts that stick out to you. Everything in this read may not be verbatim exactly the message you're seeking. You know what I mean? It's really a matter of, are you open to the message? What is resonating for you? And what are you feeling called to do or to comprehend with the message that I'm going to relay to you guys? Okay. Thank you again, everyone, for being here. So, in the past, or let's say in the just like the most recent past, it doesn't even have to be like super long ago. It could have literally just been yesterday for you. It could have been last week. You know, could have been 2 days ago. Could have been this morning. Because you're going to watch it at a different time than me. So, like, the specific timestamp isn't really the point. You have to transcend just like regular day-to-day measurements and things like that and really just vibe with the actual message. Do you have the ear to hear the message? So we have the judgment card in the before spot or in the past spot. So I'm going to show that to you guys here. We got, looks like Anubis. And it looks like Anubis. But it could just be, it could just be another dog-headed person. But I think it's Anubis. And we got just a guy, an Egyptian guy here in the picture. And it looks like Anubis has a scroll in his hand. Looks like he has some important document there. I'm going to let you guys take a look. And actually, Anubis comes up twice in this spread. And I never pull Anubis, which is crazy. We got Anubis as the second oracle in this spread. But in the first spot here, to go with our judgment card, we actually have the god Horus with the theme stability and equilibrium. So, the Judgment card is definitely representing a time for reevaluation. And this could be like a spiritual awakening. It could just be a shift, like we're talking about right now, where we're releasing things. Releasing past burdens, releasing things that no longer serve us. Releasing, it could be anything, you guys. It could be a friendship, it could be a job, it could be an acquaintance, it could be a hobby, it could be something you got going on that you don't tell people about. You know what I mean? It could be anything. The stability and equilibrium is up in the air right now. But it only feels that way because we have the Judgment card. And like I said, detaching yourself from things that no longer serve you sometimes will make you feel like all hell's breaking loose. Your world's being flipped upside down, right? But we have to know that this is for a greater cause. We have the Eye of Horus here, like representing like the eye of God, always watching you, always foreseeing everything and knowing from beginning to end, from top to bottom, what's going on, that you're kept, that you're looked after, that you're divinely protected. So that's what we have for the first card. The second card is supposed to be like the present in a past, present, future spread. You know what I mean? If you're hearing it that way today. So we have this second card. It's the Chariot. And this card, just from looking at the illustration for me, you know, we have the Eye of Ra. We have two like sphinxes at the bottom. One's red, one's black. Very interesting. And we got this guy with like a weapon, and it looks like a lamp or a light of some sort in his other hand. The Chariot. So this is really giving me like very determined energy, very like very determined, you're on a mission kind of vibe. Let's look at the actual meaning behind the Chariot card, okay? The Chariot card represents victory, control, and willpower, often signifying a time of success achieved through self-discipline and determination. When upright, it suggests focused action, triumph over obstacles, and success, even a literal journey. When reversed, it can indicate a lack of direction, powerlessness, or conflict resulting from a lack of control. And like I said, this particular card was in reverse when it fell out. So maybe you're struggling. Maybe you're struggling with this detachment. Maybe it's really got you, you know, off balance. Maybe you need to be grounded. Maybe you need to find some grounding techniques. So you can get focused again. We have a very specific oracle card here in the middle of all of this. We have Anubis in transformation. So in this battle, in this journey that you're going through currently with the changing of the seasons and the pivoting that needs to take place, it's going to require that discipline, that determination, that focus to really transform in the midst of adversity and challenge. What I'm really seeing here and what this is really giving me is transformation through balancing, finding your equilibrium, shedding what is necessary so that you can gain what you need. It's a balance. Notice how in both of these cards in the middle, we got an entity at the top and then two at the bottom. Granted, Anubis is at the bottom here, but do you see the mimicking symbolism? And we already have equilibrium as the first oracle card. What I am finding is, me personally, a lack of balance. You know, like I've spent the last several months in a very yang energy. Go, go, go. Create, create, create. Boom, boom, boom. You know what I mean? And you have to have the yin with the yang to have that continuous regeneration force flowing, right? So without that, you are going to feel powerless. You're going to feel stagnant. You're going to feel like your energy's blocked. You're going to be feeling burnt out. Lately, I've been feeling burnt out, me personally. So with this transformative period that we're in, I always feel like there is this huge transformative, pivotal, like portal right around my birthday. So with that being said, I've just always had some challenges around this time of the year. It's just something that I've kind of noticed. And what's really important when you're going through hardships is having that self-care routine, having those holistic modalities, you know, healing modalities to lean on, whether it's plant medicine and breath work, or it's yoga and, you know, taking self-care baths, whether it's charging your water or charging your crystals, or if it's reading a book, or it's taking a walk in nature. It could look like so many things for you, but it's important to have that rest moment and then have that moment of movement, but to have a balance of both. And most days and most times and most people, I feel like they are missing one or the other. They're either a go-go-goer or they're just completely not even doing it, you know? So with that being said, I would just say make sure that you are reaching for and looking for those ways that you can make time for yourself, make time for the present, recentering yourself, resetting yourself, grounding, and realigning. Moving along, so we're going into the future here. We have the Two of Pentacles. And Pentacles represents money usually, or like things related to money. Like pentacles are supposed to be like coins, essentially. And with that being said, we do have Geb, the Egyptian god Geb, and the theme of prosperity coming up in our future. Thus far, I'd say we're looking good, but looking deeper into the Two of Pentacles right here, because the Two of Pentacles card, it feels like a serious card. Like this animal that looks like a monkey, in my opinion, sort of. He's balancing this pentacle on his head, and then he's also sitting on a pentacle like it's a wheel, like on a unicycle. And he's holding the eye. Like a guide, okay? And the Two of Pentacles represents balance, adaptability, and juggling priorities in life. With the card being upright, I would say it's looking positive that we're able to maintain that equilibrium. We can make the necessary changes to transform and shift into our highest timelines. And it looks like the possibilities are endless, as they always are. And things are looking up. Things are looking prosperous for the future. As long as you are able to juggle those tasks, stay grounded, stay flexible, and just embrace that change. So overall today, I would say in this this message, I know you're riding a roller coaster. Like, universe knows that you're riding a roller coaster. Where is your grounding techniques? It's time to shift. Why are you holding on to those bags? Why are you so attached to those things when you literally have everything that you need? So, with that being said, I encourage you to keep going, stay focused, remember to be kind, take a moment to yourself, you deserve it, and don't forget to walk in love. Yeah, and I appreciate all of you guys. Thank you so much for listening to the end. Wholeness and balanced vibrations. See you guys next time.